Coming up on the Suze Orman Show, the 5 biggest mistakes on your retirement account that I do not want you to make. Also, so when she tells you she's worried, David, is that what you say to her? You say, it's okay, we'll work it out.
I know we're cutting it close.
And you ask me, can I afford it? Is this the picture of the heifer that you want?
Yes, it is. She's awesome, isn't she?
You know what? She's pretty. Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I want to talk to all of you about the 5 biggest mistakes you make with your retirement account. Now, let's just get real, everybody. Really, do you have any money? Most of you, the only money that you have for your future, truthfully, is the money that you have put in a retirement account. And that money is more important than it has ever been before. Why? Because the day of getting a pension, the day of the corporations taking care of you and paying for health insurance, they're gone. You and you alone are going to be responsible for your own future, to pay your own bills. And the only place you're going to get that money from, in most cases when you retire, is from a retirement account. So I do not want you to make mistakes when it comes to a retirement account. So listen up, everybody, because these are the 5 mistakes I do not want you to make. Number 1, not contributing to a 401k that matches your contribution. What are you thinking? You're passing up free money. You cannot pass up free money. So if you're not doing that, that is a huge mistake. Number 2, not taking advantage of a Roth 401k and a Roth IRA. You want to make sure that you take advantage of the Roths and the 401k because you can withdraw money without penalties or taxes. You want to know that things are tax-free, so do a Roth versus a traditional. Number 3, investing in a variable annuity or bond funds or target date funds inside a retirement account. Those are not wise investments. That is, those investments, you will not be making the most out of your money. I could do a whole show on the reasons why, but can you just take my word for it? Avoid those investments like the plague. Next, you will make a mistake if you take a loan from a 401k. So many of you think, oh, you have this money here. I'll take a loan. I'll pay off credit card debt. I'll do this and I'll pay it back. Interest, I'll be making money on my money and paying myself back. Do not do it. Do not do it. You are paying back pre-tax dollars with after-tax dollars. So when you go to take it out again, you've just volunteered for double taxation. Do you think that makes sense? And last but not least, taking an early withdrawal from a retirement account to solve a financial problem. You are never to touch a retirement account. Retirement accounts are protected against bankruptcy. Do you hear me? So do not withdraw money, pay taxes, pay a penalty to solve a financial problem today. Because if you do so, you're going to have a bigger financial problem in the future. Those are 5 serious mistakes I want you to never make. We are going to California. Danielle, what's your question?
Hi, Susie. Thank you so much for taking my call. So my question is, my husband and I are both 36. We have sadly nothing in savings, and we owe about $15,000 in credit card debt. We have, between the both of us, we have about $150,000 in our 401ks, and we both also have pensions through our jobs. We're thinking about taking out the money out of our 401k just to get rid of the debt. So my question is, should we do this for peace of mind?
You know, I have to tell you, absolutely, the answer to that question is no.
Oh, okay.
Because you're just simply looking at at solving this problem by simply withdrawing money from your 401k, and now you're no longer in credit card debt. But what did it cost you to get out of credit card debt? It didn't cost you $15,000. You're going to have to withdraw, let's just say $30,000. because after you're going to pay ordinary income taxes on it and a 10% federal penalty and a 2.5% penalty to the state of California. And before you know it, it costs you $15,000 to simply pay off $15,000 of debt for peace of mind. That would not give me peace of mind. That would drive me crazy that you wasted that kind of money. I just want you to take on the credit card debt little by little. If you need help in doing so, you can go to a debt management company. There are many of them out there. I tell you about them all the time. Check out nfcc.org or AICCA.org, AICCCA.org. They can put you on a program, get your interest rate down to maybe 0%, but that's what you need to do. But do not, and I repeat, do not take money out of the 401k to do this. Do you hear me, girlfriend? We are going to Pennsylvania. Elena, ask me your question.
Hey, girlfriend. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Anytime, sweetheart. What can I do for you tonight?
Okay. Well, about 6 years ago, a friend of mine sold my husband and myself a $1 million variable ovation life insurance policy. And we're paying about $550 a month. And he keeps telling us that if we have additional money to invest in the policy, it's because it's tax-free and that we can take that money out anytime. I personally think that $550 a month seems like a lot of money. And I just want to know, are we doing the right thing investing in the policy, or is this just a waste of money?
All right. Over the 6 years that you have been doing this, you have put in how much money?
It's about $6,000 a year, so probably about $36,000.
You got that right. Of the $36,000 that you have put in, what is the cash surrender value today?
About $6,000 each.
All right.
For each policy.
All right. So I want you to do the math on that. You put in $36,000 and it's worth how much?
$12,000.
$12,000. Does that sound like a good investment to you, especially at a time when this year and some of last year, the markets have been going crazy? People have been making 25 or 30% on their money, but yet you have lost $24,000 of what you put in. This investment did not work the way this insurance agent said it was going to work, did it? No, because he told you you were going to be able to put money into this variable life insurance policy. It was going to grow. It was going to be an investment account, and your insurance would just come for free. But yet, you have lost money, and he has the nerve. He has the nerve to want you to put in more money. Are you kidding me? Here's what Suze Orman wants you to do. I want you to figure out if there is an insurance need in your family. You'll have to decide that. Let's say the insurance need is you need $2 million to cover everything. I want you to go and get a 20-year level $2 million insurance policy. I want you to have that in place, level term, no other kind. Once it is in place, I then want you to drop the variable life. You're not going to owe anything in income taxes because you put in $36,000. You're only going to get $12,000. You're then going to take that $12,000 and you're going to use that to help fund the term life insurance that you did purchase. And you are not going to talk to this person anymore because they are not very smart. And you were not very smart to listen to them. We are going to Eric in New York. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call. I'm currently underwater on my home mortgage, about $50,000. And I've been reading a lot of articles lately about people just walking away from the home because it doesn't make sense financially as an investment to stay in their homes. And I was wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Sweetheart, I don't know where you're reading this advice, but I'm here to tell you I do not think that is wise advice at all. When you're looking at $50,000, it's really not that much money. You know, a few years ago, when you were underwater, $200,000, $400,000, there was no way for you ever to make up that kind of money, and the banks were not willing to work with you. Okay, you could walk away. But today it is different. The laws have changed, and listen to me closely. A little bit ago in 2013 and before, if you walked away from a house or you did a short sale and you owed more money than it sold for, or when they took it over, they sold it for, that $50,000, let's say in your case, was just dismissed. You did not owe income taxes on that $50,000. Today, the laws have changed. Today, if you walk away and the bank says you owe them $50,000, you will owe income taxes on that $50,000. That $50,000 added to your other income could make it that you owe $15,000 to the IRS in taxes. Now, please be careful here and understand that this is true even if it is your primary residency. So you have to think about that. Does that make sense for you? Now, if your entire net worth, everything that you have, is worth less than the $50,000, then you're probably not going to owe income taxes on it at all. So these are things that you need to look at. You need to look at it from a tax viewpoint and from an ethical viewpoint as well. If I were you, I would first try to sell the house. I would try to work out a deal with the bank to see what the ramifications are going to be, but just don't walk away. That's not what we're doing in 2014, at least not on my watch. You're maxed out with credit cards. You're currently with a full-time job are spending $1,000 more per month than you are bringing in. And later, been wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
I've been growing my own organic fruits and vegetables for the past 30 years, and I would finally like to buy a greenhouse and all the accessories I need for $500.
We have a lot of trouble here. Welcome back, everybody. Financial fair is at the heart of my one-on-one tonight. A wife worried that her husband's plans for retirement will derail their already shaky financial future. Sandra and her husband David are here from Milwaukee. Sandra is 50 and David is 48. Sandra is a teacher's aide. David is a firefighter with a window cleaning business. They have 2 children, a 17-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter. Sandra says she's paralyzed with fear because David wants to retire early. Sandra, tell everyone what the plan is and why it's causing you such sleepless nights.
So we are in a huge amount of credit card debt right now, and my husband is thinking about retiring in several years, and he wanted to take some money out of our money that we have saved for retirement to retire a couple years early. And I wasn't sure if that's a good idea to do or not.
All right, so, but you wrote in, and when I read your email and everything that you told the producer, you really are paralyzed. You're looking at this, and your husband, hi, David, by the way, sweetheart, I'll get to you in 1 second. Right? David wants to retire at 53. And the reason that David wants to retire at 53 is because a lot of times firemen don't work longer than that because it's a hardy job. You got to stay healthy. He can be hurt. And so he figures with everything that he's doing, you've got enough money, it'll be okay, and he wants to do that. And you're looking at this going, I'm the one who pays the bills. I don't have any money. Is he kidding me? What is he thinking? And he keeps saying, it's okay, we'll work it out, we'll work it out. So when she tells you she's worried, David, is that what you say to her? Don't worry, honey, we're going to be okay.
Well, yeah, that's part of the reason, I agreed to go on the show here. I know we're cutting it close and we need to do something.
David, I want you to take a look at the picture that I'm about to show everybody about your finances, just so I know you know everything that we've got going on here, and then we'll go from there. So let's take a look. Right now, you are 48 and 50. Right? You have $107,000 in retirement. Everybody, you have $50 in an emergency fund. You have absolutely no money whatsoever in investments. You have, your current home is worth $225,000, but you owe $155,000 on it. But you have consumer debt of $50,000. So here you are, wanting to retire in 5 years, and you really have a net worth of $126,000. But here is what concerns me more than anything. Your monthly take-home income after taxes is $6,052 a month. David, listen very closely to this next figure. Your monthly expenses are $7,125. You currently, with a full-time job, are spending $1,000 more per month approximately than you are bringing in, which is why you have such credit card debt, because that money keeps going on to the credit cards. Now, you're almost maxed out with credit cards, so you're not going to be able to do this anymore. I'm looking at everything, and there's not a lot to cut because a lot of the money is going for credit cards. You're spending a lot of money on the house that you currently have. So when you see that, knowing that you can't even afford to make the payments right now, just tell me what's going through your head and how you think you're going to do this.
Well, hopefully, I was hoping to increase my window cleaning business. That's part of it. Also cutting back on non-essential things. Some of the farm pets that we have that we don't need, we can get rid of that. Cable television, those kinds of things. Another part of why we're spending more monthly is because we just started with new contract negotiations, paying into healthcare, paying into retirement, which we didn't have to do before. So that's part of it. So yeah, I know we need to come up with a plan.
So I just have to ask you a question. All right. You're a fireman. Thank you for your service. Just picture this with me for a second and tell me what we would do. You arrive at a fire, and this house is totally ablaze. There's people inside. They're trapped. They can't get out. You take out your fire hoses. You go to put the fire out with the water and everything, and there is no water. There's a pump there, but there's no water coming out. You can't get in the house, and there's no way for them to get out of the house. How do you save them, David? What do you do?
There's not many options there.
Yeah, they're in trouble, right?
Yeah, in trouble. Yeah.
They're in trouble. Now imagine this. There's a husband and a wife, and they are living in a house that has farm animals. They have 2 kids. They have $50 in savings, and that is all they really have. There is no food in the refrigerator. They are behind on their mortgage payment, and they are about to take the home away from them. What do you do, David?
That's why we're here.
That's right. That is your family. And that is your family right here and right now. Now, we have $48,000 of credit card debt. The first thing you have to tackle is that credit card. That's the first thing. But how do we do that? We don't really have any extra money, except in the house that you own. We do have about $60,000 of equity in that house. You asked for a plan when you came here. And David, I need you to get very realistic that in 5 years from now, even if you were to retire, given your pension and everything, we are looking at you having about, after taxes, about $2,700 a month. You're still going to have $6,000 or $7,000 a month in expenses. We're going to be about $4,000 to $5,000 a month short. And there is no way, and that's after taxes. There's no way that your cleaning business is going to generate for you $72,000 to $80,000 a year. Is it, David?
No, probably not.
All right. So that is reality. We have a burning building, financially speaking. And the only way to put that fire out right now would be the following. You own a home that has equity in it. That home, with all the property taxes, the insurance, and everything, costs you about $2,000 to $3,000 a month, believe it or not. It is not just your mortgage payment, it's everything. That's 50% of what you bring home. We can't afford that. If I were you, I would sell the house. I would take the $60,000 of equity and I would get rid of my credit card debt in totality. I would then look for an apartment. If you could rent it for about $1,400 a month, if it's out there, if that's possible. Then we start cutting down on expenses. We're saving $1,000 that you were paying towards credit cards, and now we're able to save money. Now we're starting to get realistic. You also told us that if you were to go back and get a degree, that you might be able to get a job that's eventually a promotion, no guarantee, but you are now could be at a sit-down job in the fire department. That is a far better investment for you to do with your time, because the way it looks, you're going to have to be working at something till at least 67 or 70 years of age, given what you have here. That is throwing water on a fire. How do you feel when I tell you both what you need to do?
Good.
I mean, that's definitely, it seems like now there's some type of plan. At least somebody's telling us, what direction we need to head.
Right, David?
And how much we're short.
David, I need you to promise that you are never going to say to Sandra again, honey, don't worry about it. It's okay. I need you to, did you see how fast he did that, girlfriend? Sandra, if that's the only thing that you got out of coming on the Suze Orman Show, that was the problem right there. Because that, as long as he's now willing to live in reality versus fantasy, the two of you will be just fine. Try my plan on for size. All right, sweetheart, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
We'd really like to celebrate our anniversary at the Great Wall.
You listen to me. You listen to me.
Also, I have a small cattle ranch, and for breeding purposes, I really want to buy a longhorn heifer.
Look at her horns. Do they always go straight out like that?
They do at that age.
What do you want to buy?
Specialized mountain bike,
Longhorn heifer.
greenhouse, and all the accessories.
Time for the Can I Afford It segment. This is where you call in. You tell me what it is you want to buy. I ask you a few questions. I listen to what you say. And then I make the decision if you can afford it or not. Are you ready? Let's begin with Miriam. What do you want to buy?
Well, Susie, I would really like to buy a specialized mountain bike. I love cycling and have been doing a lot of road biking, but I think it would be great fun to ride on the mountain bike trails in the parks that we have around here. Also, the mountain biking would add extra variety to my triathlon training.
You're training for a triathlon?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Will this be your first triathlon, or will this be just a number of triathlons that you've already done, just another one?
Just another one. Yeah, I've been doing them. There's a good number of women in this age group who do this with me.
Girlfriend, I love that for you, so show me the money.
Okay, Susie, our take home is $8,333 a month combined.
Yep.
Our expenses are $4,445 a month. We have no debt and own our home outright. And in savings, we have $37,000 liquid, $430,000 in investments, and $229,000 in retirement.
So, Miriam, how are you going to pay for it?
Well, we're planning to take a small portion from liquid, and the rest can come from our tax refund.
All right, because you have $37,000 liquid. I need about a $35,500 emergency fund for you to meet your expenses. And so even though we're a little bit short here for retirement and investments and things like that, you do own your home outright, but yet you still are 64 years of age. So I have to look at all of those things. And as much as you want to do a triathlon, and you've done many of them before, so you obviously have a lot of these bikes and everything that you need, the truth of the matter is you are approved because you can afford it, girlfriend. Kim, what do you want to buy?
Oh, hi, Susie. I've been growing my own organic fruits and vegetables for the past 30 years, and I would finally like to buy a greenhouse and all the accessories I need for $500.
Now, if you spend $500 on this greenhouse and these accessories, is this food that you can then eat and all these things so you could save money in the long run as well?
Oh, definitely. I think I already save a lot because I can it and freeze it. But,
So
having
this
fresh
is like an investment in your future, right?
Oh, definitely.
Show me the money. Show me the money. Let it grow on me. Show me the money.
My income is $3,952 a month.
Yeah.
My expenses are $2,492. My only debt is $109,000 on a 30-year fixed mortgage, but I pay extra every month. In savings, I have $15,000 liquid, $9,000 in investments, and $60,000 in retirement.
How are you going to pay for this, my dear Kim?
Well, I usually put $1,400 a month into my savings to rebuild my emergency fund. But this month, I would like to take $500 to pay for the greenhouse and put $900 in the savings. And then with the money I save on my grocery bill, I would pay back that $500.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this, Kim. You are 52 years of age. I have $60,000 in retirement. I have $9,000 in investments, $15,000 liquid when you should have a whole lot more than that. We have a lot of trouble here. I need you to start growing this money seriously so we can replace your income when you no longer are working for it. And now you're asking me if you can take another $500 to do so. You are approved. And the reason that you are approved is I really believe you're going to need to grow your own food in the future because you're not going to be able to afford to buy it if you don't do something and start saving some more money. Fred, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. My partner and I will be celebrating our 32nd anniversary, and we have an opportunity to go to China on travel points and mileage, and we'd really like to celebrate our anniversary at the Great Wall, and we want to do it before we're too old to make a trip like this.
Yeah, because I got to tell you, I've climbed that Great Wall. In fact, halfway up, I said to KT, we went together, I said, you go to the top. I'm going to sit and wait right here for you. And that's exactly what I did. So I can relate. Show me the money.
Well, our take home is $4,500 a month combined. Our expenses are $5,083 a month, and that includes $435 a month for rent. We owe $80,000 on a 30-year fixed mortgage and $19,000 in credit card debt. And in savings, we have $8,000 liquid, $19,000 in investments, and $116,000 in retirement.
And just out of curiosity, Fred, at the age of 56, with $8,000 in an emergency fund, $19,000 of credit card debt, at a pretty hefty interest rate, how are you going to pay for this?
Well, we're going to use, we're planning to use hotel and timeshare points, air mileage, and our tax refunds.
So you're getting a tax refund that will take care of this whole $2,000 to $3,000, so you really don't need to go into your savings at all, correct?
Correct.
Great. Denied. You listen to me. You listen to me. You are going to take that tax refund and you are going to take it and pay down your credit card debt. Are you kidding me? You have $19,000 of credit card debt at your age at that interest rate. You are not going to the Great Wall of China. You cannot afford it. I don't care if you never go. You need to have a great life, and you're not going to have a great life if you go to the Great Wall of China because you don't have the money to do any of that at this point in time. Lisa, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I have a small cattle ranch, and for breeding purposes, I really want to buy a longhorn heifer. There's one that I've been looking for, and she's going to auction this month, and I think she'll increase the profitability of my herd.
Wait, am I looking at this picture? Is this the picture of the heifer that you want?
Yes, it is.
Look at her horns. Do they always go straight out like that?
They do at that age, but hers are... She's awesome, isn't she?
You know what? She's pretty. I don't think in all the years we've been doing this, I've ever had anybody that wanted to buy a heifer, let alone a Texas longhorn heifer. The longhorn heifer. Girlfriend, show me the money.
Oh, great. All right. My take-home pay averages to $56.58 per month, and that includes land dividends. My expenses are $26.01 a month. I have no debt, and I own my home outright. In savings, I have $9,000 in liquid, around $59,000 in retirement, and I inherited an IRA that it has around $327,000 in it.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this, and we have $19,000 liquid. That's, my 8-month emergency, but hey, that's not the question here. Will I approve or deny you, my dear Lisa? So I want everybody to join the conversation on Twitter or my Facebook page, and I'll be giving my final verdict at the end of the show. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find the information you need to know there to come and play with me right here. And if you are chosen and you are on the air with me, asking me what it is that you can afford, guess what you're going to get? You are going to get a t-shirt with my verdict on it that I gave you. Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze. What would happen if you invested this $100,000 in the stock market and the $100,000 went down to $50,000? How would that make you feel?
I don't think I have the appetite for that.
And later, it's Suze 911, help for your money emergency. You have taken $80,000 out 7 years ago without letting him know it. Was any of it used for shopping or anything for you? Welcome back, everybody. Here we are in the control room at CNBC headquarters. Want to know what I just found out? This is called PCR3. Do you know what PCR3 stands for, everybody? Think about it. I didn't know. They had to tell me. Production Control Room. It's the third one, I guess, that they have. Who knows? But so many ways that you can be part of the Suze Orman Show. Take a look at your screen, please. You can send in an email, join me on Facebook, or if you send in a tweet and put hashtag Ask Suze, it comes to us here, and if we choose it, your tweet will be on the air. Let's see what's trending right now. We have from @BrollWing. I'm a college student with no established credit. How do I start establishing credit? Well, the best way for you to do it is either apply for a credit card really while you're in school. Sometimes these credit card companies, they'll give it to you even though they shouldn't. They will. But when you're under the age of 21, it is possible that your parents may need to co-sign or open up what's called a secured credit card. A secured credit card is where you take a specific sum of money and that secures your credit with a company that gives you that credit card. You use the credit card, but the money that you secured it with does not go to pay when you make a charge. You have to come up with that money, but that is how you start. Let's see what else is trending. You have @Shane's Eager or Shane Seeger. Either one of those will do. Will paying off my student loan hurt my FICO score if I have no other credit accounts? Here's the truth of the matter. I don't care if it hurts your credit score, which it would not. The goal is if you have debt, you always want to get out of debt, especially student loan debt. So if you have the money to get out of student loan debt, just do it. Do you hear me? Do not think about your FICO score. Think about being out of debt. Let's go to webcam, everybody. We're going to Aaron in New York. Boyfriend, ask me your question.
Hi, Suze. My wife and I have about $100,000 in savings that we want to use towards a down payment on our first home in about 3 years. In the meantime, we were thinking of investing that money in the stock market in the hope that it would grow during that time. However, do you feel the stocks are perhaps a bit too risky given our 3-year time frame and the current state and outlook of the economy?
What would happen if you invested this $100,000 in the stock market and your hopes didn't quite turn out the way that you wanted to and the $100,000 went down to $50,000? How would that make you feel?
I don't think I have the appetite for that.
All right, what if it went down from $100,000 to $80,000? How would that make you feel?
That I could probably live with.
All right, so here's the thing you have to understand. You said in the hopes, you don't want to take your down payment on a home that you definitely want to buy and risk it on a hope. You want to risk it on a true plan, if you ask me. So no, you never invest money in the stock market for less than a 5 to 10 year period of time. If you do, you are asking for trouble. So don't do it. Leave it safe and sound. Leave it so that you really can do what you want with it, which is to buy a home. And when you're ready, it will be there. 100% of it. Got that, boyfriend?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, everybody, let's go back to the studio, and here's what's coming up next. Need help right now? It's Suze 911. $80,000 is a lot of money. What did
I
you
know.
use? What did you use $80,000 for? Because he is going to ask you that question. And later, my final verdict for Lisa. This is the actual heifer that Lisa wants to buy. I love these long horns. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for Suze 911, where help for your money emergency is just a phone call away. Let's activate the call wall categories and find out what my next caller needs immediate help with. Oh, financial infidelity caller, what is your name and what is your money emergency?
Hi, Suze. My name is Maria from Florida, and I had a terrible money emergency. My husband doesn't know I took a almost $80,000 home equity line of credit against our paid-off home. It's been about 7 years, and now he's decided that he wants to open the line of credit so he could purchase a car for himself. I work full-time, and I'm currently working away from home, and I want to tell him, but I don't know how he would handle it. What should I do?
All right, so he thinks he owns this house outright with you.
Yes.
You have taken $80,000 out 7 years ago without letting him know it. And has that $80,000 gone to $70,000 to $60,000, or do you still owe $80,000 on it today?
I still owe the $80,000 today.
Because you're only paying interest only on it?
Correct.
Correct.
I've been trying to pay on it, but he wants to say I'm the spender, he's the saver. So every time I get paid, he takes the money out, put it in our savings account, thinking I don't have any debt.
All right, and I just have to ask, $80,000 is a lot of money. What did you use $80,000 for? Because he is going to ask you that question.
Well, part of it, I used to help him on his business, because a lot of times it was slow. So I would take money out of there and put it toward his business for employees or for, and the kids. And I wasn't working. I had got into an accident and didn't work for like about 3 years. And I was paying off the equity line just with that same money, taking out the equity and paying the monthly payment.
So all of this money was used to keep your husband essentially afloat in his business, correct?
Yes, most of it, yes.
Most of it. Was any of it used for shopping or anything for you personal or something that he could get mad at?
Yes, it has been. I went and got into an investment of $20,000 and it went bad, and I lost all that money.
So $60,000 went for his business, $20,000 you went into an investment hoping that it would make enough money for you so that you could pay back the $80,000 without ever letting him know.
Yes.
That's what happened, and you lost it all.
Yes.
All right, I want you to listen to me. It's not about the amount of money. It's about the trust that the two of you have between each other. And even if he wasn't wanting to take this loan out to buy a car, which you never should let him do anyway, and that's a really, really bad idea, by the way, you have to come and be honest with him. You owe him that. Because the longer that you let this go, he's going to say to you, how many years was this? I mean, if you could have said it was but at 7 years, he's going to say, for 7 years, you didn't tell me. For 7 years, I've been living this lie. So you're going to have to gather all of your courage. You're going to have to go to him and you're going to say, sweetheart, I need to tell you something. And what I'm going to tell you is going to be very difficult for me. And I imagine it's going to be difficult for you as well. And then you just have to tell him. You do have to tell him as well that a lot of this money was used to keep his business afloat. And that his responsibility in this was, well, how do you think we paid all of our bills when you weren't bringing in enough money? So he has to see, by him not being involved with the paying of the bills every month and him thinking he was more successful than he was able to do that because you allowed him to do that, but also because that's what he wanted to think as well. So I have to tell you in a very strange way, what you did was not right. But I can understand why you did it, because a lot of people out there who pay bills want to make sure that their spouse feels like they're doing okay even when they're not, just so that, they can be good. This is something you're going to have to tell him, and you're going to have to be courageous, and you need to tell him tonight. You can't let another day pass with him living a lie, you living a lie, and where possibly that lie can destroy the love that I'm sure the two of you have for each other. So that's what you're going to need to do. And if you have a money emergency and need my help, just go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and hit Susie 911. My final verdict for Lisa is next. This is like a love. She has become your love, correct?
Yes, it was a love at first sight in a sea of cattle. Yes.
Now it's time for my Can I Afford It final verdict. Earlier, cattle ranch owner Lisa asked me if she could afford to spend between $3,000 and $7,500 at auction for a Texas longhorn heifer. Is this the picture of the heifer that you want?
Yes, it is.
Look at her horns. So Lisa, you still with me, girlfriend?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. I love that little heifer. Let's show everybody. This is the actual heifer that Lisa wants to buy. I love these long horns. Look at that. Boy, you don't want to get in between those anyway. But before I give you, my dear Lisa, my final verdict, let's remind everyone what you had going on. Your monthly take-home is $5,658. Your monthly expenses are $2,600. You have no debt. I love that. You own your own home outright. I love that even more. In savings, you have $19,000 liquid. I don't like that so much. $59,000 in retirement could be better. But thank God you do have $327,000 in an inherited IRA, and you want to use distributions from that IRA to pay for this heifer. Girlfriend, any words before I give you my final verdict?
I first met her in October, so it is not an impulse purchase.
This is like a love. She has become your love, correct?
Yes, it was a love at first sight in a sea of cattle. Yes.
And when you get this heifer, will this heifer produce income for you?
Yes, she will. In fact, she's currently bred to a sought-after herd sire.
And so this could be a good income producer for you. Plus, you really love her, and I know you really love her. But then you look at your money, and here it is. You are approved because of the inherited IRA, and therefore you can afford it. You got that?
Yay!
Listen, everybody. She could afford it. It takes all types on the Suze Orman Show. But here's what I really want you to always remember when it comes to your money. And it's this. People first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe. Bye-bye.